Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo, first here at Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi. We are learning Mishna Berura in Shabbos Shin Lamed Tes about clapping and dancing on Shabbos. I'm really like we did the Mechaber, we're in the Ramah, but let's maybe just get a running start. We'll learn the Mechaber Shin Lamed Tes Siv Gimel.
And Rofer?
Ein Rofer.
אין אוכלים מהדבר, מה וידון
Siv Gimel.
I'm sorry. הם תהפכים להכות כף אל כף, we do not bang a spoon against a spoon.
This is the kaf, okay, this is our hands. This is the palm of the hand, right?
ולא מספקים להכות כף על ירך, ולא מרדים, and you don't hit your hand to your thigh, and you don't dance. Gezerah Shema Yitakein Kli Shir. It's a gezerah in case you will fix a musical instrument. Va'afil lehakot be'etzba ala karka, and also to bang your fingers on the ground, or al luach, or on a board, or achad keneged achad kederach hamshorim, or one against the other.
Snapping your fingers, like
or lekashkesh be'egoz letinok, or to
shake a nut, like a make around, yeah.
Or lesachek, or to play, or lesachek go bezuz, kadesh yishtok, or to bank and get money to the baby's.
That's zug. That's
zug.
That's like a clap.
So the baby should stop. All this, and like the thing, it's also asur. Gezerah Shema Yitakein Shir. Perhaps he will come to fix a musical instrument. Usapek velachar yad mutar. Usapek. What's usapek?
Let's do the clap.
A clap. Back the head.
So that's the Mechaber. According to the Mechaber, you don't have much choice, right?
Daga. V'had v'misapkin u'merakim ha'ina lo machina bo. When somebody's clapping,
so he says, "V'had." This is like and take a look. The Misapkin and Merakim, people are clapping and people are dancing.
And we don't stop.
And no one's protesting against them.
The mutar sheyiyu shogin, because it's better if they're doing the b'shogin.
Like that, they do it shogin amazingly. So the people that are doing it in contradiction to the Mechaber, right? No one's protesting. The reason they're not protesting is they let them go and be unknowingly transgressors, and they're being knowingly transgressors.
The yesh omen to bizman hazeh hakol shar, and they some say that in this time everything is permitted. Ein anu bekim v'asiyat kli shir, because we don't know how to make musical instruments. The leika the migzar shema yitakein kolei shir. Perhaps.
Right. So there's three things. So first of all, right, there are those that say, right, that in our times, musical instruments, we don't know how to fix them. So therefore, there's not to be. You don't have to make a gezerah. You don't have to be concerned about the people coming to fix them, because no one knows how to fix them, right?
Yeah.
So, and therefore, since there's no gezerah, it's a milsa d'lo shkiach. It's something which is not common. So in general, the rule is that it's something which is uncommon. You don't have to worry about and forbid because of a gezerah. It's uncommon. So in the time, there are those that say that since in our time we're not expert in clear in making musical instruments, so therefore you don't have to worry.
Sure, because of fixing the milta de lo shkicha. Because he's going to forget.
It's a milsa. It's something which is not shkich, not common.
Not common.
So, right. So therefore, people aren't experts to fix. So you don't have to stop them from doing things that they might fix something, because they're not going to fix it anyway, because they're not capable of doing it. They don't have the information or the expertise to fix it.
The perhaps because of all this, people are lenient to in all these things.
So that could be the reason why there are those who are lenient, right? Since it's something which is not so common, we don't have to be concerned about them coming to fix something like this, an excuse for instance. So therefore they go ahead and they clap and they dance on Shabbos. Okay. And the Ramah just mentions a few more words in the Ramah. Yeah, that's it. Okay, very good. Okay, let's see the Mishna Berura here. That begins with Sifkat and Zion. Okay. Have it there, Matisyahu, Sifkat and Zion. The bottom there. We're not to clap and we're not to snap our fingers, not to dance on Shabbos.
Thank you. Yes.
And metapchim. We don't clap. Bein be'evlo u'bechamat le'orer hatzar u'ben mechamat simcha. Not because of something, because of tsar.
Evlo, like a mourning.
And also because of simcha.
Yeah. Meaning not because of Evlos mourning, or because of Machmas sorrow, or because of his distress over a certain suffering that he's going through, or Machmas, or even because of a joyous occasion. And
all because of Gezerah that it will come to fix a musical instrument, whether it's for an avel or for a simcha.
Right, to
wake up,
arouse his mourning, his
musical instruments.
Yeah. The Mishna says that to the funerals, the Levinas, that would arouse people to cry and things like this.
We don't dance. Yom Simchat Torah mutar l'rakim, but Simchat Torah is permitted to dance. Does that mean that the rest of the time you're not allowed? Is that what he's saying?
Well, the Mechaber said you're not, right?
The Mechaber says all the time, but Ashkenazim are allowed to do that. I'm just saying on a regular Shabbos.
Yeah. On a regular Shabbos, so the Mishnah is saying the only time he has to deal with Simchas Torah. Because Simchas Torah is when you do dance.
Okay.
So how do you get around the how can you dance on Simchas Torah?
For those who are strict and do not dance, that's what
he's explaining the Mechaber Shita. The Mechaber Shita, right? The Mechaber Shita says clearly, right, that you're not to dance, which the Ramah in theory agrees to. He's just trying to understand those people who are accustomed to go ahead and dance. How did they get away with it, right? And how come no one's protesting against them, right? But the law is you're not to dance. So on Simchas Torah, how do we get away from dancing?
The Rishash Omrim Kilusim the Torah Mishum for the Torah. What's Kilusim?
That's the praises of Torah.
Praises of Torah.
We're saying the praises of Torah.
For the honor of the Torah.
Right.
That's
well, the hakafas, all the each hakaf has different songs, and that's we're koilis, we're praising Torah. Each one of those things that people should pay attention a little bit to what's going on in Simchat Torah. It's not just simply going around and around and around. In between things, certain things are being said, certain things are being sung, and all these things are praises of Torah.
Kevan the led bazeh elam shuvut, because it's only because of the shuvut or regularly. About bishar simcha shel mitzvah ketan nisuin, but any other kind of simchas like engagement, afilu hachiyas, it would be not permitted. The gam for the Torah en kedalatir ela tipchot berikud, and even for the Torah it should only be tipuach.
That's like clapping
and dancing. Velo kish kush beparmonim bezagim, and not shaking
the rattles and bells, parmonium bells, zagim.
The chosheken she'ar kli shir the usher, and all for sure any kind of musical instrument would be usher.
Right.
Orachat keneged.
That's snapping your fingers. One finger snapping against the next.
Kegon elo shemakin be'ama alaguda.
They take the ama. This is the ama on the agudu, and they snap.
They also do teuna revot, and they make this snap.
They make very nice movements with this. They snap to the music, and they make music, and they snap and they sing.
V'zeu shesiyem kederach hamishorim, and this is like the. Finish. You see him. You finish.
This is how the Mechaber finishes off. He says Derek HaMishorim.
The singer.
I have this picture. I don't know what group it was. These four guys there, and all in the same suit, and all snipping and snapping the thing. going this way and singing.
It's putting us in our time.
What's that?
It's showing our age.
Yeah, okay.
It's like very a doo-wop, you know?
ואם עושה זה בחזקת כדי להקיץ לחברו משנתו, but if he's doing it just to wake up his friend,
Let's say you want to snap your fingers so he wakes up.
Mashma Magen Abraham Deshar, we understand from the Magen that's okay. The lav derech shira, because it's not the way you're singing. Achen lefi ma sheber betosefet Shabbat shitat Rashi, Maslo Rashi gam beze yesh lachme. But according to what we learned in Tosef Shabbos, that according to Rashi, you understand that even this is you should do it.
Right, even snapping your fingers for the sake is okay. You want to wake up your friend, maybe even for a mitzvah to come to davening, say Krishma. It's Mishna saying Mashma from Rashi that you also should be strict not to do this as well.
V'chein mashma miprim megadim. So it's the same thing we understand from the good. Okay. V'akel bakol, according to the Ramah, we are lenient on that. Hai lehakel bakol kai al tipuach v'sipu v'rigut lo shredder. He says it permits the clapping, the hitting the thigh, I think it is, the rikud and dancing. But the other stuffs, Niskarim B'Siv said that are said in the other stuff that's said in this Seif, and even the clapping and the dancing, you shouldn't do except for the minute that's no. You should not change the minute. It's not for a mitzvah. Ela mishum hanach lahem, only because hanach lahem to relax him.
This is he's quoting something here.
Basically, for a mitzvah, you can do those two things. That's the way I understand.
Yeah. It says, you could just start seeing some kind of Zion there. Eli Rabbi B'Shem Yam Shel Shlomo Ayin Sham Sham Mashal B'Makom Mitzvah Yes Nismok Medina Hospitals and Tosis Benin Pur Yukid Beis Yosef Lo Mashma King the King Kasser B'Mayim Mordechai. I'm not sure. I have to see what the quote is. I'm not sure which quote he's quoting because it says "Finish all the Hulu." I'm not sure what that's referring to. I feel Dain Kedai Niya Mini Shaloba Makamich Elu Mishum Hanach Behem. That's not clear. The last couple of words are not clear to me.
No, who has benefit?
No, Hanach to rest or to leave. We're not clear.
Right.
Okay.
What's the minute in our present day generation?
So, well, I guess it depends. According to the Torah,
If a coach was there, he would say, Breslov dancing, clapping is very vital part of the Torah. And the Breslov Rav said, when you clap your hands together, you kaf, which is contrary here, says you're bringing koach and light in your minds by doing that. Okay.
Number 8.
And
yeah, what you want to read? I don't have that edition. Go ahead.
You want to just the whole thing or just the bottom?
Whatever you think's relevant. Go ahead.
כפי שאמרו שאין למחות ביד העוברים, על כך שמוטב שיש שוגגים ולא היו מזידים. Okay, that said that you should tell people so you can sing. Then it says, ודאי שהיו כל חכמים שבעולם מסכימים להתיר את הדבר, ונחשב הדבר כאילו התירו. That all the rabbis do permit it, and it's like it's a permitted item today. That's what he brings down. I don't know from who, but he brings it down. It's the end of the whole thing. He brings down Igros Moshe also.
There was English Moshe. I have to take a look at them. I'll bring that tomorrow. Bring that thing with English Moshe. I'll go punning. I mean, according to the Macabre, I'm not sure if there's a head according to the Macabre.
No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, is that,
But conditions
that
have-
what did you do in the,
we wear?
NCSY?
That's why they dance. But that's Ashkenazim. It was run by the
Conditions have changed, but that's a very delicate point. If you say conditions have changed, you could modify
Everything.
Well, that's the Jewish revolution.
And you have to be very careful with
It
that.
says, you don't fix things. People, everybody does it. The only permits are the dancing and the clapping, not the other stuff.
There's some people who use that very liberally, and they're not the things that many others are not going to be material.
Right.
I don't have the answer.
So, let me
Amram, that was New Age, you said?
Yeah.
On the right-hand side?
yeah, there's another
Bottom
footnote,
half.
there's another
Bottom
footnote
half.
over there also, that it's some say, what we do going around in circles with holding hands is not considered Rikud. I think there's this, well, I forgot which number it
You're
is there.
shuffling around.
Yeah, you see that there, it's in the,
You're not
Shomazal, it brings up the Shomazal.
You're not lifting your legs, I heard.
Yeah, it
So lift
says,
up your feet and then
it has to
you're
be,
Rikud.
Rav Shomazal said it has to be a tenua yuchedes, has to be a specific type of a movement.
So this is good for the older people. Older people do not lift their legs, and like when I was in the Hassan, these young people, boy, they were dancing up a storm the next day. The older
Yeah.
people don't have the problem. Or they don't want to break their leg, I don't know what the reason is. Israel, what do you do at Hassan?
Dance.
You do dance. Oh, so how do you, but it's not on Shabbos, is that what you're saying?
Shabbos, you just hold the hands around the circle, possibly.
It's called the Yeshiva Shuffle. Right? Is that what it's
But
called?
then, does it take too much energy?
I don't understand. What's the chiddush for dancing on Shabbos?
Well, they didn't permit it in one time because they used to use musical instruments. In those days, they used to make them musical instruments. So because of that, they said not to dance, not to start something, but in the end, you're going to end up doing major Berura, like making a musical instrument. Things have changed. So with Ismanim, they didn't change because he says, don't do it. Shemazim, the Talmud had started changing the Rama, and today, coming down the line, and people don't build instruments anymore. They don't.
So you're saying don't dance because you may build an instrument.
It's the same thing.
That's the fence, though.
Yeah.
We're not going to dance because it may lead
That's
to
right.
making an instrument.
Right.
Well,
So you have,
okay.
but then you have, so you have with Shabbos, you have the shofar, you have a flulav on Shabbos. You don't do the Shabbos, right? These are all fences.
Okay.
Yeah. Here, Mem Gimel, we can this is Shemar Shabbos B'chasa. On the left page on Mem Gimel.
And their code, aval yesh la'akel b'zeh b'simcha shel mitzvah. You're not supposed to dance, but you can do it for a simcha of a mitzvah. By mitzvah, I guess you have.
So we read the I don't know if the next one mentions about clapping. I don't know if it's about clapping.
And nimchot kapayim, im lo b'simcha shel mitzvah. You should not clap except for a mitzvah. O shelo kefi sheregim la'asot b'motachol. And o shelo kefi sheregilim, not like you're doing it like every day.
Maybe that's
What is
without a
she?
shinu, without a shinu.
כגון שיקיש יד אחת על גב על השמיע backward. וראה לעולם בפרק כ"ח. See.
So that's the Gezerah according to the Mechaber, and according to the Ramah, really his question is why are they doing it? He's not saying that they should be doing it. His question is why are they doing it? And the question, secondly, the question, if they're doing it, why isn't anyone saying not to do it? Right? So he answers. The first answer is
People should do
because they're going to probably do it anyway, right? So if they do it anyway, it's better they do it shoyim rather than mezidin. But that itself shows that it's in fact forbidden, right? It
To
wouldn't
me,
be
that's a shvach ha'maisa. We're not going to try to motivate people not to do it because they're going to do it anyway. So we're saying, okay, you can do it, but you don't know what to do. Shouldn't our emphasis be, you shouldn't be doing it or doing it with the shino? I think we're going into a lower madrega. We're saying, okay, it's prohibited, but do it because we don't want to do it for major. Should we say, it's prohibited this way, but you should do it that way.
So your comment,
I don't like this.
your comment is based as I mentioned yesterday. There are three levels. There's chinuch,
Right.
and then there's tochacha, and then there's mukar. There's education,
Protest.
and then there's rebuke, and then there's protest.
Okay.
Right. So your shah is based on chinuch. What's the proper chinuch? Right. So the proper chinuch is obviously, you look at the Shulchan Aruch, you look at the Torah, and they'll tell you shouldn't be doing it. Right? If you're going to be doing, you should do it permissibly with the shinu.
Okay.
That's the chinuch, 100%. Obviously, if you're teaching somebody, you want to teach them the proper way to do it, right? But however, let's say you're faced with a situation, right? There's some kind of a simcha, some kind of an event going on, and people are doing it. Maybe there's some people doing it this way, some people doing it that way. We can have an offer for something like that, and all of a sudden, people start banging on the table and things like that. So you stand up on the table and say, "This is, you're doing something wrong. You shouldn't be doing it." You're not going to be effective.
No, maybe you should stand on the table and do it the other way. Say, gentlemen, this is the better way of doing it.
Right.
You're not criticizing. You're not being negative. You're saying this is the better way. So you are a role model. You're showing people the right way of doing it. To me, that's what the emphasis should be. Educate people, help people to a higher level to do it the right way. These other things to me is a little schwach. Okay, that's
But that's why. That's
why.
So that's why, since the Ramah mentions V'yesh Omrim, right? The Ramah is V'yesh Omrim, that it could be that everything is completely open now anyway. There's no reason for they don't even have to teach them the proper way.
That's right.
Right? That there's an opinion.
We don't make
There's an opinion that people don't make. Well, I don't know how to tune a violin, to do a good guitar. I mean, I don't know how. But again, people who do play guitars, they do know how to tune these things. Right?
That's a miyut.
Oh, so a double oshkir, that's exactly what the Ramah said. A double oshkir, something which is not common, we don't make a gezerah, right? So now this, we'll maybe have a chance, maybe we'll make copies of the Tshuva of Ramah. Should be very, very important to see that.
Curious now what he said.
The thrust of his question is a question raised on the Ramah that the Yesh Omer that the Ramah is mentioning is a Tosfos. And it's not exactly clearly understood what Tosfos means, right? Because there's a whole side issue, a general side issue, which is at stake over here that we should mention right now to just open up the discussion for tomorrow. When you have a gezerah, every gezerah Chazal made, right? The mentioned in the Mishna is, let's say for example, that when Shabbos is Rosh Hashanah. So Chazal made a gezerah, you're not going to blow shofar that day. Everyone in Klal Yisrael, under normal circumstances, this question is based in, not based in, Makkah based in, but in general, there's no blowing of shofar on Shabbos, Rosh Hashanah. Why? Because a person may come to carry Tal HaRam Rosh Hashanah.
How many people?
Even one.
Even one, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
right. Or
the Mishnah in many places, right? Even though you're not so mech on this Nikatila, but the Mishnah mentions many places that Bisman Hazeh we don't have Rishus Hashanah. In general, most of the Rishus Hashanah, what's called Rishus Hashanah, is only a din Carmelis. It's a Rabbanin. It's not an authentic Rishus Hashanah Midoraisa. So in which case, I'll come along and say, hey, the whole problem was you're going to be carrying Rishus Hashanah, right? Which would be Nisa Doraisa. So that's why they made the fence. If in our time, let's say purely, absolutely, there were no Rishus Hashanah in existence Bisman Hazeh. So what we have there is a batal tam, batal gezerah. If the reason of the gezerah is batal, right? So the gezerah should be batal.
okay,
If there's no reason
no
to
carrying, so
right, if there's no carrying outside in the Rishus Hashanah, so then let everyone blow a shofar again, right? Because of that one person that might carry, it's only going to be Nisa D'Rabbanan that he might be coming carrying. So therefore, maybe we should allow people to blow shofars. So there's a big discussion when you can apply such a concept or not. If the reason for the gezerah no longer exists, does that mean that the gezerah no longer exists? Or do you say that once the gezerah was made, regardless of what changes may take place, the gezerah was made. The Chachamim of previous generations of the Gemara and the Mishnah is much wiser and greater than us in all many different ways. made this gezerah for all times, for all situations, for each generation of Klal Yisrael, regardless of whether the situation is going to change or not. Right?
Question, in the past, if you had a headache and you had to make medicine, you had to take different ingredients and put it together, and you had to pound it, this and that, to get it. Today, you take an Advil, you take an aspirin, you're not doing that. Have conditions changed? Can you take an Advil if you have a headache? I think yes, but
So
I'm not opposing.
I'll take you down to the Beit Titanium over here. You go into any hospital, and they have a mortar and pestle on the nurse's wagon. Why do they have a mortar and pestle on the nurse's wagon? Because not all persons can take the pills. They have to dilute it into water.
So we have to worry about the people. The one guy who can't take the pills, and are you sure there's a mortar pestle?
I've seen it.
I don't hang out in
Is it
hospitals like you do, Babbitt.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I'm just all over.
I'm sure if you go to any nursing station, right, somewhere along the line, they'll have them. Little brass mortar and pestle.
So I don't have any problem with swallowing the pill, but you say there are people.
You shouldn't eat pills either.
No. You're saying the people who have this thing. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
And there are many people that are...
But what qualifies as a splitting headache versus...
that's something else.
What?
Enough of the Mishka.
To each his own.
Very good.
To each his own. Because what's a headache for you may not be a headache for him, and it may be a migraine for me.
That's right.
So that's an individual, a subjective...
And who can make that call? How can I decide what's going to make you feel bad? How can I decide what's going to make you feel better? I can't decide any of these things. I need to leave it alone if it involves somebody else.
For yourself, you can decide.
For myself, I have to decide. And if I need help, then I have to go to my Rav. That's it. I can't make the decision for him. It's none of my business what his problems or happiness is.
You have to go to him every time you have a headache, or once you have established the standard what a headache is, does that last for other situations?
I was told it's always, each situation could be different. It's always worth it. You never lose out by asking a Rav. And if you can, I mean, sometimes a person's stuck at home. He's not going to be able to get to the Rav or whatever reason.
What if the Rav says it's beyond my capacity, you have to go someplace else?
You go somewhere else. That's happened.
So you have a
Remember,
headache, and
you have
to run all over town just to try to get an answer. By the time
I don't think of basic stuff like that you do. I think it's basic stuff. Most rabbis will answer on the spot. Basic stuff. Big stuff. Then you're right.
Sephardi rabbis, maybe not the Ashkenazi.
That's not true. I worked with Ashkenazi for 40 years. Okay, 40 years and the great
Arguing with
rabbis.
his father for the past few years.
Most of the, you'll be surprised, most of the questions are also relatively standard questions.
What? Sorry?
Most of the questions are relatively standard questions.
That's right.
You know, but occasionally that's why you have posting that they have to decide on the cases that haven't been come up before.
Exactly. Right.
So we'll be discussing that. We'll try and prepare the tshuva of Moshe tomorrow, which is and we'll see how Moshe after this. It was very important to see how he approaches the subject.